What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. And on today's video, we're going to be doing something completely different. We're doing game reviews. And what better game to start with than the game that I am currently playing right now, SteelRising. Now, I know what you're asking yourself, how am I playing SteelRising if this game is still sealed? Well, SteelRising is currently the free game on PlayStation Plus, so if you are a PS Plus subscriber, do yourself a favor and download that game. Now, with that out of the way, let's get on with this review. SteelRising is a Soulsborne game that takes place during the French Revolution, where you play as an automat called Aegis on a mission to basically bring down the crazed king and help save all of France. Now, what makes this Soulsborne game any different than all the other games that I've played or have at least tried to play is that this game, it actually doesn't focus super huge on its difficulty. Now, I know that's the thing with all these games, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, you name it, Elden Ring. They're all super difficult games to the point where if you tell people, how can I get better? The first thing that you will hear is get good. This game gives you a chance in the very beginning to put in assist mode that would help you basically with the entire game. Now, we did turn that off, so we did just go in and hoping for a challenge, and we actually didn't find that. This game is actually super easy. All the enemies, they're like 3-4 hits. The boss battles, you can honestly sweep these bosses in like one try. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some times where it will get kind of difficult if you have like 3-4 of these automats all ganged up on you. Yeah, it can become kind of difficult, but it doesn't mean it's not something that you can get through. Now, I have noticed as I played this game, a lot of the deaths, they're actually pretty stupid. The way things happen, it just doesn't make sense. Whether the cliff is just on the other side and you just can't zoom to it. Or you just run out of energy and you just get hit and you die. But I noticed that as I played this game, I never once died by a boss. I never actually died because I wasn't good at this game. Now, that could turn some people off because I know a lot of people do like a challenge with these games. But I also like to think of it as this is practice. This is a practice game for a lot of people. So if you're the type of guy that wants to get into Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, all these very difficult games, this is a good game to start with. Now let's move on to visuals. This game is visually stunning for a game that came out in 2022, which was completely under a lot of people's radar. This game is actually pretty magnificent in terms of like what you're looking at. Your character model, some of the NPCs could be kind of flawed, but if you look at the background surroundings, whether it's the smallest thing like a fire, or whenever you're down in the Paris catacombs, all types of things, they're just super mind blowing. The small attention to detail is actually what makes this game shine. Now, don't get me wrong, just because this game is beautiful does not mean it's perfect. This game has major flaws. Major flaws. This game has crashed on me countless of times. Probably 3 or 4 times I lost count. To the point where I just get so turned off from the game sometimes.
And you see the game crashed again. Can't even do anything. So, guess we wait.
I just have to take a break because you're in the middle of just playing the game and the game just starts bugging out. So, starts lagging. It's a single player game. How are you going to lag? This game finds a way to do that. But aside from that, everything else is great. The battles are nice. The bosses aren't a headache. And This game isn't difficult in terms of where you need to go. Everything is just one full circle. So if you kind of get into a door where you just can't get through it, but you can make a right, you will come back and you will get through this door because you have to make a circle no matter what. So that's one thing that I definitely enjoyed compared to other games. This game here isn't the worst. Now, another thing that I do like about SteelRising is that I have put about 15 hours into this game and it doesn't feel like a chore. Whether you're running around farming essence souls or you're completing side tasks for these NPCs, none of it feels like a waste of time. It doesn't feel like I'm just dreading playing this game. This has actually been one of the best games that I can come home to after work, just kick my feet up and relax. Again, you don't have the challenge. Everything is pretty smooth. Crashes aside, this is a pretty good experience. Now, I have played some Souls games, so I kind of can't speak on the difference between them. It's not like Remnant 2, which heavily pushes the use of co op. It's not Dark Souls, which will push you to its limits. It's not the type of game that I would compare to Bloodborne. And it will never be in the same league as Elden Ring. But all that aside, this is still a very enjoyable game for even the casual players out there. This is a game that I highly recommend to anybody that wants to get into the Souls genre and doesn't know where to start. Because if you just want to jump straight into the water and go for those types of games, you will suffer. But if you go into this game, you can practice, you can get good, and you can kind of get the feel of what these types of games are about. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Because I'm not the best at these games and I'm definitely not a master, but this is a good stepping stone for you to kind of get your feet wet and understand how these games are played and how the souls work and how different health, potions, grenades, all types of things. This is also another good way that you can learn its inventory. Steel Rising has a unique inventory that also becomes very easy to figure out. You just find a weapon you like most in its class, and that's it. You just upgrade that weapon until it's just fully maxed out, and you just rip to shreds all these robots that come into your way. Now, I do have about 60% and 15 hours into this game, so I'm not even done with it yet. But from the beginning of this game up until now, the entire journey has been nothing but fun. I have no regrets about this game except for starting it this late. I picked up this game about a year ago and just put it in my backlog and told myself I'll get into it one day. Clearly, in gaming, that never happens. So if it wasn't for the PlayStation Plus monthly game, I would have never got to it, and I'm thankful that I did. So Steel Rising gets a solid 8 out of 10 for me because this has been a great experience, super easy, just Cadillac the entire thing, to be honest. Now, if it wasn't for all these crashes and all these bugs and all these types of things that this game does flaw in, it would have been up higher in this rank. But that's okay. It's not a perfect game, but it's still a very, very good game. So please do yourself a favor and download this game and just get started on it right away. If you haven't got to it within these past couple years and you see it on the PlayStation Plus, don't just add it to your library, download it and actually play it, and you will have a great experience. It's super casual for anybody that wants to get into it. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, I appreciate you guys for everything. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hopefully, with whatever games that we play next, we can do more of these types of reviews. But yeah, that's honestly all I have to say. Steel Rising, you need to get into it. So you guys enjoy a couple of this gameplay that I'm gonna add onto it. And just if it still hasn't sold you onto it, then I don't know what to tell you, man.
See, it did it again. Game just crashed, so that is a major flaw that this game has. So just beware about that. you don't want it to happen if you're like in a very long part. So what can you do?